Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching The Big Bang Theory. This is the 19th episode of the third season. Hope you guys have been enjoying it so far. If you'd like to watch today's full episode, it is available for free in a link in the description below. Just click it, put the password in, and enjoy. And mate, I can't believe we're so far into the show. Honestly, we are flying through it. But hopefully we see more of the Howard and Bernadette relationship in today's episode. This is what I'm craving for. You know, we've introduced a new character. Looks like it's going somewhere. And then we take a big absence. I'm not saying the last episodes have not been good. It's just, I just need that little bit of fix. Because we're getting a lot of Penny and Leonard. I actually really enjoyed it this season. And obviously, we've had the rest of the gang dipping in and out and doing their thing, which has been great as well. Like I said, my main complaint, if it was season 1, it was heavily, you know, around the three characters, which are Sheldon, Leonard and Penny. I feel like that's still the case, but everybody else in terms of Raj and obviously Howard have been integrated into it a lot more, and I feel like it's shared, and now I want it to be even more shared with Bernadette obviously being introduced into it and obviously seeing how she does in the relationship, and that is what I'm hoping and excited for in today's episode. So let's see if we get that. I don't know if we will do. Last episode was basically Sheldon. He was getting an award, wasn't he? He was being... you know, he basically been nominated and he won something and he had to go up and do a speech in front of everybody. He was scared. He said he could speak in front of his peers and in front of his friends and obviously his family, but when it's in a crowd of hundreds of people that he doesn't know, then he kind of like gets wobbly knees, jelly legs, you know what I mean? He falls and collapses. And basically the only way he could do his speech was kind of like when Rice does it. He has his drink, he gets a bit of confidence and he goes for it. But this time he went a little bit too far, ended up getting posted on YouTube. He ended up, you know, insulting a couple of people, taking his clothes off, making a fool of himself, you know. And, you know, it's pretty fun all around, to be honest, watching it. It's quite hilarious. But for him, it's quite embarrassing. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do to obviously do your public speeches. Hopefully you enjoy today's episode. If you do, please smash the like. It really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, let's jump into the 19th episode of the third season of The Big Bang Theory.
Having a little trouble catching your breath there?
If my PE teachers had told me this is what I was training for, I would have tried a lot harder.
Do or do not, there is no try.
Did you just quote Star Wars?
I believe I quoted Empire Strikes Back.
I love you, Penny.
Oh, here we go. Big drop.
Thank you.
I just want to put that out there.
Oh yeah, no, I'm glad.
Yeah, oh, good. Good. Glad is good.
Yeah. Getting pretty late. We should probably go to sleep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Probably.
Okay. Good night, sweetie.
Good night.
Right, to be honest, he didn't do anything wrong there. And obviously every person says it in a different scenario, and it's usually a thing that triggers something. And the fact is, like I've said, I've not acknowledged it before, the fact she's getting nerdier, she's understanding more of Star Trek and Star Wars, and she's able to quote things and integrate it into her own life. And, you know, she defends them and she understands them now, and now she's kind of become part of them. You know, it may be that moment there that triggered it for Leonard, thinking, mate, I cannot believe somebody so hot and so cool is now obviously getting into, you know, everything that I kind of love, and I absolutely love everything around Penny, and I do love her. You know what I mean? Nothing wrong with that. And you can't expect somebody to say I love you back straight away at the same time that you trigger yours. You know what I mean? It's just that if she makes it really bare awkward now, that's when it's going to get, you know, a bit tough for them. But we'll see how it goes.
Hey, Leonard, where do you come down on giant ants?
Sheldon says impossible. Howard and I say not only possible, but as a mode of transportation, way cooler than a Batmobile.
You have nothing better to do than sit around and discuss the possibility of giant ants.
What's with him?
Perhaps he's at a sensitive point in his monthly cycle. Far back as the 17th century, scientists observed a 33-day fluctuation in men's hormone levels.
That might explain my weepy days in the middle of the month.
Forget giant ants. How about giant rabbits?
Big or small, I don't like rabbits. They always look like they're about to say something, but they never do.
I honestly don't care.
Really? Because every time we've talked about unusual animal genitals, you've always had some pretty strong and controversial opinions.
What do you want from me? I just don't give a rat's ass.
Would that be a giant rat's ass? Okay, how about this for a topic? Why is Leonard being a giant douche? Assuming giant douches are possible.
Of course they are. Leonard's being one.
I don't want to talk about it.
But I sense you're going to, and I don't want to hear about it. Excuse me.
Did you think it would be funny to put on a pair of our panties and jump around, but it wound up just creeping her out?
Sounds like something he'd do.
What? No.
I'm just asking, dude. It happens.
Ask her to start waxing.
No. Did you start waxing?
No.
While making love, did you accidentally spank your own ass and cry out, "Mommy"? That wasn't a no.
Yeah, I think we're getting close.
Wait, did you take a Benadryl and fall asleep while pleasuring her? Because you can die that way.
Hey,
Good. Penny, reminder, bowling tonight at 7 o'clock. In this particular case, your lack of femininity works to our advantage.
It's always nice chatting with you, Sheldon.
Sarcasm?
Thinly veiled contempt.
Do you know what, right? I don't play bowling. Hey, a bowling ball. I don't play bowling, like, hardly ever. But I would say that I'm quite decent at it. I'd say, like, you know, if I do play it, it's maybe, like, 2 times in a whole year. And every time I play it, I get maybe 140 to 160 around there. Like, something like that. And I would say that's quite good, actually, because I only think that that's good because every time I play with people, they're shit. And I'm like, oh, I must be all right then, because hardly anybody even gets to like 100. And mate, bowling's so expensive. I don't know how much it is in the US, right? But it's absolutely ridiculous. Say like if you wanted to go bowling with your friend for an hour, costs like 60 quid or something. Well, where I live anyway. It's about £15 a game. It's an absolute joke. That's per person. Like, I can't believe it. Like, literally, it's so expensive. I mean, everybody rips you off nowadays, honestly. Every little hobby that you try and do is just an absolute joke. But bowling is a great, fun game to play. Not just on the Wii, like these do it, even though Wii is great, Wii bowling. But in real life as well, if you can afford it, it's expensive, but it is really good.
Albino Bob couldn't make it, so I brought a substitute. I believe some of you know Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton, get in there.
It isn't Will Wheaton. The Green Goblin to my Spider-Man. The Pope Paul V to my Galileo. The Internet Explorer to my Firefox.
You ready to bowl?
Oh, I'm ready. I don't know if Stuart told you what you're up against tonight, but before you stands the co-captain of the East Texas Christian Youth Holy Roller Bowling League Championship team. Then it's on. Yes! A common spare. The miscongeniality of the bowling pageant. Yes. Tweet that, Tweety Bird.
Hey, I just wanted to tell you I'm a big fan. But Whoopi Goldberg, you ever hit that?
chili cheese fries?
Yes, I love chili cheese fries.
Really? You love them?
Yeah, why?
No reason. Just glad to hear you're comfortable saying you love something. Why wouldn't you love the chili cheese fries? They've been in your life a long time. They make you happy. They deserve to know.
Don't push it, Leonard.
I am not pushing anything.
You are. You don't get to decide when I'm ready to say I love you.
I was saying that. Like, it just has to come in her moment when she realises it.
Premature, I love you.
I guess premature, does that count?
This is for you.
Ice cream?
I've been familiarizing myself with female emotional crises by studying the comic strip Kathy. If you were a cat, I would have brought you a lasagna.
Did Leonard send you over here?
No, we haven't spoken since your abrupt departure last night caused us to forfeit to Stuart and his dastardly ringer, Will Wheaton. Let me tell you, sleep did not come easily with Leonard in the next room singing along with Alanis Morissette. I've engineered a rematch with Stuart's team for tonight.
Oh, honey, I don't know. Things are a little weird with Leonard right now.
When are you going to talk to him?
You're not going to leave me alone until I do it, are you?
Oh, I think we both know the answer to that question.
Innit? Just go through it now, innit?
All right, maybe I overreacted. So we're in 2 different places emotionally, so what? And maybe I'm a little ahead of you, and that's fine. You know? In fact, it makes sense, because let's face it, I've been in this relationship 2 years longer than you.
So we're good?
Yes, that's what I'm telling you. We are good. We are great.
All right, fence mended, problem swept under the rug, time to bowl. Yes, I was eavesdropping. There's a lot at stake here.
First of all, I hope they are good. I hope that he can't, like, you know, not move past it, because, again, I'll be honest, I don't think she's done anything wrong. Like, just because you decide something doesn't mean the other person has to have it at the same time. Like, he's saying as well, technically, he fell in love with her pretty much the moment he seen her. Let's be honest. It's just the fact that now's like a perfect time for him to say it. He's felt his moment. He's in a position. He's loving his life. He's happy. He said it. Doesn't mean that she's not, but just because you say it doesn't mean she has to reciprocate it the same way. Now, I understand why you can have a little bit of hurt feelings from that, but then again, you can't force somebody to say it because then it's not true and then it's not meaningful. And you waited for the perfect moment that you felt it to say it. And I feel like the other person as well, in this case Penny, deserves that as well. She needs to get to a stage where he does something, where she looks at him and thinks, mate, that's the reason why we're together. That's why I love you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, just saying I love you too back, there's no meaning towards it, is it? It's just literally an instant reply, instant like kind of reaction. And you know, I would much rather them not say I love you too back and say it in an unexpected, spontaneous moment like he did to her to make it feel more impactful. The Wesley Crushers.
No, not the Wesley Crushers, the Wesley Crushers. It's a blindingly clever play on words. By appropriating his character's name and adding the S, we imply that we'll be the Crushers of Wesley.
If you wanted to mean you're crushing Wesley, it'd be the Wesley Crushers.
Do you people even hear yourselves? It's not the Wesley Crushers, it's not the Wesley Crushers, it's the Wesley Crushers. The losers will be publicly humiliated in a fashion to be chosen by the victor. FYI, I plan on having you publish a scientific paper expounding the discredited Velikovsky hypotheses.
After you.
No, after you, as we are currently crushing you.
It's customary for the player on the right-hand lane to roll first. It's a custom, not a rule. Embrace the dark side.
I want you to know that even though we're on opposite sides, I bear you no ill will. People from opposite sides often have good relationships, you know? Romeo and Juliet, Tony and Maria from West Side Story. I'm gonna bowl now.
You're worth the ball.
It's good that we got out and did something physical. It's out of our heads. You get in your head, you start to overthink, overanalyze, obsess, you worry. That's not what we're doing tonight. Tonight we're just throwing a ball at some pins.
Yep, that's right.
Sheldon, excuse me. I don't know who you're chanting for, as I am currently the ball.
Be the ball.
Thank you, Jesus!
Turning into his
As my
mum.
mother would say.
Yeah.
It's always tough when the L-bomb gets dropped and you're not ready for it. I dated this one girl, and I told her that I loved her, and she said she wasn't sure. And she strung me along for almost 2 years. It was brutal. Yeah, I wish that she had just broken up with me right there.
Really?
Yeah, it would have been kinder.
To be honest, I don't know if he's trying to manipulate her for himself, but it's good advice.
Did you let Will Wheaton get in your head? Did he tell you his grandmother died?
No.
Well, if he does, don't believe it. He's not above playing the dead Meemaw card.
Benny, you're up.
All right, remember, his Meemaw's alive, and be the ball.
Yeah. I got it.
Oh, we really need a strike here.
I know.
So just take your time and concentrate.
Leonard, stop pressuring me.
I'm not pressuring you.
Yeah, you are. Just back off. This isn't fair to you, Leonard. I'm sorry.
Wait, where are you going? Penny, come back!
It's the second time.
Now let her
It's the
go.
second time.
Are you insane? If she leaves, it's over.
Pretty sure it's already over.
You did this, didn't you?
Yep. I'm telling you, the Match.com chicks are much looser than on eHarmony. I gotta call you back. I want to bet, and it's time to collect.
I don't even know who looks better.
I don't know about you, but I feel empowered.
Sheldon looks Sheldon looked pretty good. I mean, what's his name now? Leonard kind of got out of it, to be honest. He was wearing a full-on blue suit in it. You know, them was kind of exposing. I feel like his was less female clothes than the other ones, to be honest. But I thought they looked pretty decent, to be honest. That's quite funny. Raj, man, he just embraces everything, doesn't he? He loves it. Now, again, let's be honest. This isn't something breakup worthy. It just isn't. Like, I've said it too many times this episode, and I don't want to repeat myself, don't want to be that parrot, but do you know what I mean? Like, when you love somebody, you say it in your own time. You know what I mean? You can't just force Penny to just say the same thing as you believe, you know, as you feel. You come to that moment because she done something, and she got to a moment where you looked at her and thought, my God, mate, I can't believe this woman is perfect. And you told her you loved her. She could have said, thanks, I love you too. But what meaning does that have? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, what emphasis? What, like, do you know what I mean? His come straight from the heart in a moment where you seen her and she was like the best she could be. And I get Penny not saying it, but the thing is, if you go on and on and on about it,